puppies! Woo! Cheers! Woo! Woo! Woo!
Peter Revolution.
What a film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary movie. I came here tonight because I wanted to express how much I deeply love this film from Paul. And also because it's a true honor for me to share the stage with this man.
Yeah!
The thing is usually I hate when moderators talk about themselves, but there's an elephant in the room. We made a movie together, and the thing is, I remember Benico when the first time we met, and I came to you for Sicario, and I very quickly I realized how much you knew about the world, you knew about that border, you knew how people talk, how people walk, what they think, and you as a director, when you do casting, secretly keep in your mind what you're looking for in a strong horse. So it's like an actor that will give you a ride, somebody that will inspire you. And when I met you, I said, okay, that's going to be a strong one. and the thing is that you brought a lot of ideas in prep. You brought a lot of ideas as we were shooting, inspiring ideas, strong ideas. A few of them really deeply inspired me and helped me to create Sicario. And I remember, I could, in prep and shooting, you could call me in the middle of the night, you were in the same hotel, and they called me and said, Denis, come to the bar. I can perform. And that happened a couple of times. But sometimes those were brilliant ideas, and you saved my life a couple of times. And I was wondering, how was the process with Paul? And when you met it at first, and what was this process this time? Because you did it in your advice before.
Yes, that was a couple days of work, and it was not a location. But the process was very much like what we did in New Mexico, what we did in El Paso. There was a bar in the lobby.
You walked into the ball in the night.
I told me in the bar, and I got a couple ideas, and I think that when you work with a director like yourself, that it's okay that encourages the why, and allows that to happen from the actors when actors ask questions. And I think with you, the same with Paul, that it encourages the actor to say, why not? Mm-hmm. And so you go really, you get courage, and you fill yourself with a sense of collaboration that is really pushes you to do the best you can and to take it as serious as possible. And I think that Paul did that for all the actors, and definitely did it with me. And the same way we worked.
Did you had some input in the screenplay as well, or the screenplay was like an object that was definitive, or did you? Well, because I heard that you brought some ideas about migrants, about Sergio, your character. I didn't immigrants. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
yes. Well, he evolved. It was like I started asking questions to Paul, and then we took it there, like, maybe I should have this, like, Latino Harry Tubman situation. We went into it, and I said, I will do it, because I care, because Sensei cares,
Sensei.
Not for money, not for power, but for just to help. And so all that stuff happened with Leo as well. So we were just discussing, and so it just evolved like that. And I just have to say, Paul was so quick to make decisions on the ideas. They were good, take them real quick. They weren't so good, he would go like, I'll just pretend he didn't say that. but he took a lot of them, and it became what it is. It was different than what it was written. It's a little bit different, but it had the same. I would say the same skeleton. It's just the same skeleton. The sensei is taking Leo's character from point A to point D. And it had the same skeleton, but what happened inside was a little bit different.
I understand that. Sorry, I just lost the train of my train of thought, and that's why I'm here, because the truth, I'm brain dead. I'm here because I love this man.
How good it gets. Gets to be Benico now.
But I was about to ask about creative freedom, and then that's what I read that you shot the movie El Paso, and that there was a lot of people, people that were, let's say, people from the real life acting in the movie, that you shot everything on location, and that did that authenticity in environment. Is it something that helped you as an actor? How did that an impact on how you approach the character with that?
That's a good question. Well, I tell you what it did. It was my first day of working. And Leo and Paul, they have shot a lot of the film. They waited for some time, and then I came in. So I was really coming in cold. And my first day of shooting was the sequence in the store in the movie where we come in and we tell everybody to move out, we're close to the store. We got the migrants on the second floor, and that store was a real store. The store was called Genesis, and it was the first time I was working with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I've known him for years. We've been friends for years, but we never worked together. And as much as we kind of grew up in this campus together in a way, we still haven't worked together. And that first day, something really interesting happened. And I don't know if Paul did it by design, but he threw us in that store with all these the owners, the people that work at the store. And he threw us there, and we had to suddenly bring our reality towards these non-actors to get them to be part of our movie reality. And it created this sense of maybe leadership coming from Leo and myself, that made Leo and myself really point in the same direction, and we were doing the same movie immediately. Sometimes when you do a movie, you have one actor going that way, the other actor going the other way, and then it takes time to get back together to get focused to what the point of the story is. And with this moment, I think was the moment, I think Leo also feels the same way, that it was this moment that suddenly, we're bringing this energy and making sure that we're including everybody in our reality. Leo was doing it his way, I was doing it my way. I can't speak for me, because I walked into that store, I think it was the first take, we rehearsed it a little bit, we walked through, and the first take, I went around the counter, and I went to the register, but it's the real register of the store, and I started pounding on the thing, and the thing opened, the register opened, and there was money there, and I took $60, closed it, put it in my pocket. And the lady who owned the store, she's in the film, and she's fantastic, her name is Maricela, and she just looked at me like, I said, "Well, get back." So immediately she started laughing, and immediately it just became familiar. It became like some kind of like, and every time we went to work the next day to that same street, everybody was happy to have you there, have us there, and everybody was good and with it. There was no animosity. I mean, downtown El Paso is it's a beautiful stage. Really, it's a real downtown. Yeah.
And how was it to work with you? I mean, it was, as you said, it was your first time. It's
Really, truly, really fantastic. Trust. And he's a terrific actor. I've admired his work for decades. But working with him, he came in focused and had like a way of, after every take there was a laugh. There was a way of making you feel relaxed with it, especially for me because I was coming in like cold.
And it's a movie that finds its balance like that between satire and drama. It's a very specific tone to get into. It's very difficult to do.
Yeah, and there's a cliche that's like you're only as good as the actor you're working with, and it's not a cliche, it's a fact. And it's a fact. And I think that if you watch the film, Leo and the scenes that he has with his daughter are, Chase Infinity. She's a hell of a talent.
Yep.
But really, Leo is there to catch her. And the two of them working together is also a thing of beauty. So it tells you a lot about him. He really likes to. He's generous.
Yeah.
And
Yes, you are.
When you have an actor, I like to think I am too. But when you have an actor that is generous, just everything gets better.
The thing I think I love about you, Benico, is that you can really put him in front of the camera doing nothing and being still, and you become absolutely magnetic, hypnotic by stillness. And Sergio has that kind of monolithic presence, where is a zone of calm in the chaos. And how do you manage to play find that equilibrium of being that kind of force in the film by doing nothing?
Pretty
Secret is there.
Leo was like Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon. Just boiling. I mean, I had very few choices. One was to play flat. But that doesn't mean you check out and go to sleep. You have to be present. So that's the trick. Just how to stay ocean waves. But, be there. And, I raised my voice a couple of times. I move fast. I get a little cranky. Drink a couple beers. Bring myself back down. But, that's basically the thing. He was so intense right from the get-go that I just needed to play with him.
Was there a little place to improvise, or Paul insisted to stay close to the line? The lines.
No, not really improvise, but Paul doesn't want to. He doesn't want you to stay with the lines, necessarily. He just wants you to be in the moment. Just wants you to be in the moment. I did a movie with Wes Anderson, which is the other extreme. And he's the other extreme. That's a different, style. And that's more like, go through the lines and work with the lines. A little bit more like theater. Paul is almost more like a documentary. It's more, it's one of the
Moment of presence,
Yeah, I mean, I remember doing, when I did Sicario, and I remember my character had these monologues early on where he explained to Emily who he was and what was his, the cause of his PTSD. He explained to Emily that his wife had been killed and his daughter had been killed by some cartel guys. And I remember talking to you about it, and me saying, like, well, I don't know if I would tell a stranger that. And you immediately said, yeah, that makes sense to me. And then Josh Brolin ended up saying those lines.
It's very simple. I will tell you what happened. I thought what Benico was telling me made absolute sense. And the screenplay was amazing, but it's true that someone that has been through those trauma will not talk about it, as you said. So every morning, I was knocking on Josh's trailer, and he wasn't saying, what does Betty doesn't want to say today?
Well, God bless God.
But it's true that it created that dark sun, that presence in the film that is so strong, like more taciturn. It's something that you brought as I think as a political character that really strengthens story.
Yeah, I don't know if I was thinking like that, and it's nice to feel how you put it, but I just felt that would be the right thing to do, is not, open up to a stranger like that.
The thing is that I remember once, just to glide on Sicario, I think there's a you watching after.
Yeah.
That there's a scene. There was again, I was in love with the screenplay, but there was the ending. There was something that Taylor had written that was strong, but I didn't know how to bring it to the screen with my own sensibilities, with someone else. And I remember that with Amy was feeling the same, and I remember that one night, 2 a.m., he used to call me and said, I had an idea, I have a great idea. And he did. And to this day, Mixio, I have to tell you in front of it's here that it's to this day, the final of Sicario is an idea that came inspired by Taylor, but still there was an idea, the scene that he came with, and we spent the day working on the scene with ABE and provided the shots of Roger. And to this is one of my by far my favorite shooting day in my life. It was like I felt it was vibrant because of the pride presence we were talking about, the idea of being in the moment. And I think you all will be forever grateful for that, because it was really a beautiful moment.
Like I was saying to you after, I think one of the movies that people come to me and refer to me as, this movie's Sicario is probably the movie that people most come to me, and I thank you. So I'm going to give it back to you.
Thank you. You try to put a lot of effort, if I may, to humanize and bring like notes to the screen away from the cliches. It's something that you do, and it's something important for you, I suspect.
Yeah.
Help me, man. Give me a moment. No, I'm kidding. But like, it's like, but do you think that, okay, do you think things evolve a bit or in the right direction on the screen, or it's like?
I think it happens. I think it happens. And you are part of that evolution in a way. Your movies, but I think he has a little bit. But there's still room for more.
Listen, you guys are looking at 2 movies tonight. It was like again one battle after the other. One battle after the other. It's really very, very impressive Korean film, and it was an honor for me to spend some time with you and share the screen.
Woo! Woo!